right, who knows it? Someone do it.
It's Home Improvement, isn't it?
Wanted you to do that. Come on now.
The
I have
Home
no idea.
Improvement theme song.
What
You
I
had no
just
clue?
listened to.
You had
No,
no clue?
I had no idea.
Well, later in the show, we want to play a little music at the start so people can get into the room. Later in the show, we will be talking about tools of the trade, because we all have lots of follow-up thoughts on Bruce Smith and Family Feud. I think I know what he was thinking, and I did some research. So I have some photographs for you a little later on of what he was thinking with his Family Feud answer. So,
Not his best performance.
I think it was a brilliant performance, and I will 100% back Bruce Smith and his choice on that Captain Hook. But we'll get to that. I want to start tonight with some UFC because, my God, I would say mostly JVT is impressive with his interest in UFC, but you are really fucking annoying on the now you're just doing it on purpose. Now you're just flooding our thread with hardcore fight talk. Are you really into fighting this much?
Dude, I really am. Like, I'm not kidding
Wow.
you. I have UFC Fight Pass. I was actually just in the middle of watching Mirsad Bektic and Dan Ige.
I don't even think Dan Ige watched that fight, by the way.
Yeah. So, it's partly it's for work too, obviously because these cards are here. I think we should do a good job of covering them, but also because I really enjoy it. And I think I've said this before, and I've said this to Adam for sure when we hang out at the Westgate, what I'm interested in even more is just the analytical aspect of it. Like, now that there's so many numbers and things to latch onto, like I think it's really, really interesting on top of being like a really cool sport in general already,
I think, and also, I mean, you're getting into it and you just so happen to have like, people in a group text like myself and Ryan who
Right.
are very into it. So like most people, if you got so hardcore into like something so nerdy as like MMA analytics, you would just be screaming into like a canyon of nothingness.
Right.
And people would be like, what the hell are you talking about? But at least you have like some receptive audience, although it probably is more for me than anybody else in the group text. So I don't know if you want to just send it to me instead of everyone.
Well, I will say I do it on purpose. And I think I mentioned this on the Friday happy hour, but Adam, like on Friday night or Saturday night, I can't remember. But the other night they were having like a really serious political conversation in the group chat, and I just kept sending MMA stuff until I broke the group chat, and they just started talking about mixed martial arts.
I quit.
Wait, am I in that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on that one.
Okay, I mean, I'm in so many texts that I'm like, I think there was one that was very hardcore political.
I sent you a business proposal, and you never responded to me either. It's a good idea.
It is. I think we got to think about it. I know there's a couple people that do it. I don't know how much their websites are updated.
Yeah.
I sent you one guy, and you were just like nerding out over some of his stats. And I think there's another guy that kind of does the same thing. But you're right. I think there is. Well, I would say there's a market for it for MMA analytics and like really hardcore nerdy breakdowns of things like distance striking and things like that. But even like I think hardcore MMA fans are just like, I just want to see people punch each other.
Yeah,
Like,
come on.
how big is the market for analytical analysis of MMA?
I don't know. Just get me in front of Dana. I'll pitch it.
Okay.
I
like it.
What, for gambling?
Well, no,
For gambling there is, but on the
No,
level
no,
that Sean's doing.
With Dana, come on, he's already got his guy. He's already got his guy. He's got Vegas Runner. His information is so much more detailed than John. You can't keep up with Gianni the Greek.
Okay.
Blow you away.
But I mean, I feel like that like is ridiculous as it is, and as ridiculous as their breakdowns are and their betting shows. I think there is a level of like that kind of simplicity works for the MMA audience, where like John's hardcore like next level analysis and analytics really doesn't.
It works with John's audience. It's good for VSiN, no doubt.
Sure, but I'm saying it's a very, very small market.
Yeah, it would be a very niche market.
So,
But I love it though because I see all these newbies now coming to UFC and watching the fights, and they're all experts. And then you start throwing your information out there, and it's like, how is he this quick a study on MMA when you guys are talking basics?
Well, he cares because he cares,
right?
I mean, and by the way, like I'm really interested because I was actually laughing about it listening to one of the shows on your network today, John.
Sorry, Brady with the niche market for the niche sport. Sounds like a huge audience of consumers. Hey, all he needs is a few, and then he has to start selling his picks, and then he's a zillionaire.
No.
I was listening to
you guys don't sell picks at VSiN, my bad.
I was listening to VSiN today with Paul and Mitch. I was listening to the replay, and like it's amazing the amount of soccer that they talk now.
Right.
And I'm just like listening to it, like you've gotten so into this, you're gonna completely forget soccer in a week.
Yeah.
Like once there's sports, like they're not gonna care about soccer anymore. So it's like it's such a small like sample size of it or like a time of it where you're like, all right, let's all get into soccer and MMA for 3 weeks, and then it's back to like really not caring anymore. Like Paul breaking down like Serie A.
Yeah.
Would you bet his picks? Would you bet his picks?
They had enough like numbers and support and backup, and by the guy, they have the guy Nigel on who's fantastic. I think. So I mean, yeah, they have some good stuff, and I know they were talking about one of the games I think today in La Liga where there was a total of 1.5 with a big shade to the over, and they liked the under, and one of the producers chimed in with, we can get like plus $5 on a 0-0 draw. And they just kind of like brushed it off or whatever. And then I was like, and that's actually what the score ended up being. So I mean, you can you can find some good numbers and you can find some good analysis. I just think like when it's really fascinating to hear people really get into it and study it very hardcore, knowing that they're going to not do it anymore in 2 weeks, and be done with it.
Well, and you guys know since I was your producer, like I've always had a fondness for mixed martial arts. Sure. This has just been me getting into like the minutia of it because I've had the opportunity to do so, and like I think it's a pretty good habit to get into it. At least for work and everything, I've made it a habit of trying to include more analytics in almost everything that we've been doing, at least on the show, from baseball to NBA to hockey to everything. So, like I try to keep it part of the practice, but understand how hard it is to keep up with almost everything. But I actually like the sport, which will help. You know,
the advantage you have, and just to reiterate it, I guess, but. The advantage that you have now is that it's the thing going on. It's like the only thing happening, so you can deep dive. But that's how you handle the NBA. Once the NBA is back, you can't do what you do on the NBA and do it for MMA. Like it's so hard to do.
Yeah. If only there were 25 hours in the day.
Adam, I saw the UFC numbers, the pay-per-view numbers reported at 1.3 million. Do you think that's accurate? Where'd they get that from?
Well, I'd have to imagine that ESPN put it out. To somebody or the way it works now. I don't know. It is weird now because those numbers are so protected unless they really want to get it out there.
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden
Wasn't it? I thought it was one of the guys from The Athletic. And by the way, on the protected number thing, I didn't even check today to see did anyone put out a list of like highest pay-per-views of all time and point to this one as one of the top ones? Because the funny thing is, if you went back about 4 years ago, the UFC used to have a bunch of numbers they'd put out, but they were all fake.
Right.
And you're slowly seeing it get corrected when they're like, this is a new record. Like, wait, I thought there was a card 5-7 years ago that eclipsed 1.2 million. But back then they had to inflate a little bit of everything, basically for advertisers. So these numbers, we think these numbers now that are released are real.
Yeah, depending on where they came from. Like you said, the Athletic put them out. So, if it's the UFC, I think they have reason to diminish the numbers. If it's ESPN, I think they might have reason to raise them. I don't know. I'm confused on all that now. Like it's the two sides have such opposing interests, even though they're aligned together. It's a very weird situation. To Periscope is out of control. I don't know how.
How much is this happening?
A lot.
Because I saw half. Well, how do I put this? I saw. What fight was I watching? I don't know. A 3-round fight. I saw half of I guess I saw a sixth of the fight. And what I mean by that is I saw a half a round, but I could only see half the screen.
Okay.
I just typed in UFC 251. There's some guy like he's just all over the place. And meanwhile, I'm sitting at home and like I've got all the audio set up, and I'm like, just get a tripod, fuckhead. Come on. And this guy doesn't care. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna have a tripod for my UFC 251 stealing.
Why would you?
This isn't me. I would say if certain
that was all a story I made up. I would never do.
If certain
someone else's phone, it was a story they told me.
If certain people have maybe been covering events in the past, like hockey or football, and like a boxing pay-per-view was on, and they didn't really want to order it because they couldn't really watch it, and they just had to watch it in like a press box, certain people may have found some tricks to watching them on Periscope. Like You typing in UFC 251, not really advised because those are going to get shut down anyway.
Yeah.
You've got to search like some tricky terms and try to get through it. But eventually you can usually find somebody that's streaming it pretty well. I've heard.
Okay, and I would always pay. I want the fighters to get paid, so I would never want to steal it.
Back in the day, I would just go to Reddit. I mean,
yeah, they shut that
pretty
down.
high quality streams.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I didn't look, but they shut that down. So the pay-per-view numbers were pretty big, 1.3 million. John, I don't know if we can replicate this, but you could not imagine how. I don't know why Adam was getting so mad over the Stu take. Like Stugatz.
It's not just him. It's not just him. It's so many people at the same.
I was going to say, I don't know if it was Stugatz specifically, but I think it was the voice that Stugatz, like, or the demographic that Stugatz represented.
Okay, let me give this audience a taste of Stu as he was going off, because his guy Masvidal didn't win. He thought Usman fought a puss fight. Didn't engage. Stugatz.
That is not what the UFC is all about. That's defensive fighting. That's taking advantage of the system. Open up, stand in the middle of that octagon, and you and Masvidal go toe-to-toe, and let's see who the better man is. I spent $60-some-odd, and I stayed up till Sunday morning. I'm exhausted right now because I decided it was a good idea to stay up and watch Usman step on somebody's foot.
Adam was shaking with anger in the studio. He was so mad when this was playing.
Because I've heard this so many times from so many different people. Now, John is claiming it's a bit. That's fine. If he's doing a bit, whatever. And he's also a huge Masvidal stan. I mean, he walked him out to the weigh-ins last time.
I'll say really quickly to cut in. Like he was laying it on very thick. He did feel that way, but yeah, his delivery, he was very. I
believe him. I believe him. And you know what? I mean, you can argue against me on this. I think he's right in the case of Usman.
Not.
Yes, he is.
He's not.
Yes, he is. In this landscape of MMA, he is right. Kamaru Usman laying it on the line and trying to get a Conor McGregor fight with a finish.
He's not getting a Conor McGregor fight.
If he knocks out Masvidal or breaks his jaw, you have no idea. It's like this.
Conor's not taking
going to happen. If he's the guy and he's marketable, I'm talking go for it. Then he makes so much more money than his crap contract now. They're never going to pay him. And by the way, you know what Dana White's going to do with a couple more of these performances. He will turn on him just like he did with Woodley, just like he did with PVZ. He will turn on him. So, like,
let's not put PVZ in the same category.
This notion. Well, I meant more like
PVZ. Kamaru.
No, I meant more of Dana will build someone up, and then when they're of no usefulness or they're hurting his bottom line, he will turn on them and crap on them. So
sure.
Usman will be the champion for a while, but he's not going to be marketable, so he actually cheated himself by not going for it.
Well, guess what? Guess how Usman is paid? By being champion. His contract's a lot different as being champion than not. So if you tell me, if I'm Usman and you tell me, like, hey, by the way, if you fight not your fight, if you fight a fight that allows Masvidal to have a chance and it's exciting, even if he beats you, we're still going to pay your champion's money. Okay, fine. Then I'm going to go out and do that.
One fight.
Job.
You're looking at
the Covington fight. The Covington fight.
The fight was awesome. It was 5 rounds. It stood up the whole time.
He destroys Masvidal in this fight. He's in the mix for Conor.
He did destroy him.
He destroyed him by laying and praying and clinching and beating him up that way.
Fighting to his strength. Again, I don't understand this thing about it's not a sport to people. They look at it as some sort of spectacle entertainment. It's a sport.
It's not really a sport.
It should be.
It's not a career. The boss said it's not a career. So what you got to do is go for all the friggin' money you can.
That's what he's doing.
And get it.
That's what he's doing. He has a champion's clause. He has a champion's contract.
And grinding.
Right. That's the way to be the champion. To play to your strength. That's how you win. Play to your strength. I don't care if it's boring. It's a. Again, you mentioned with Princeton basketball. Should they not do that? Should they not play to their strengths?
The difference is Princeton goes against Georgetown or UNLV and tries to go into the 80s, they're not going to win. Is Usman accomplished enough on the feet, mixing in the threat of the takedown to beat up Masvidal badly? Yes, he has that skill set. I'm actually complimenting Usman that he's got that in the tool chest.
Sure, but if he goes and fights the way that he fought the other day, he's like a 90% favorite to win. And if he fights the way that you want him to, he's like a 55% favorite. Why on earth would he do that?
And
why would he do that?
And at the 55% favorite, he has a 0% shot of fighting Conor McGregor, which is the real payday. They will tear up the contract for a McGregor fight.
He's got a 0% chance of fighting McGregor anyway. He's not. McGregor's not going to fight that style. There's no way.
Who's the guarantee?
Only for Khabib.
Give me the 2 or 3 guys that are virtually a lock to be in the mix for Conor.
Nate, Gaethje, and Masvidal.
Masvidal off a loss.
Guys that will stand up and fight him.
Nah.
That's who he wants to fight. He wants to fight guys except for Khabib.
I still think he can be suckered into fighting the best, and if people are calling Usman the best and demanding the fight, then Conor will take the bait.
Not with the other opportunities he has out there. It just doesn't make sense for him. It made sense to fight for the 170-pound title if Masvidal won, and then they were going to fight for the 170-pound title and get him a chance to win in a third weight class. That made sense. It doesn't make sense for him to fight Usman. It just doesn't.
Do we have any idea what Usman made, or we're never going to find that out because it's a UFC fight?
He'll get pay-per-view points as being a champion. That's why it's so important for him to hold on to the title.
John, where do you stand on this? Just fight a boring style to your strength. And by the way, if anyone has listened to me talk MMA over the years, I love when this happens. Like, there's part of me that loves that Usman did this because the fans hate it so much, and they don't understand fighting, and they don't understand there's paths to victory. But I think in this case, when there's a carrot out there who can make you millions and millions of dollars, then you go for it. But John?
I mean, I understand both sides of it, but I think like where I ultimately fall is like, what's your ultimate, like, what's your job? What's your bottom line? Your job is to win fights and become a champion, right? And win a belt.
Make money.
And I think Usman's doing that. I mean, I get that. I get the whole money thing. I understand that perspective, but I'm not sure if it's really worth the risk. Like Adam said, like, let's just say that's factual. We don't know if there's numbers behind it, but to cut a percentage in terms of winning a fight like that or losing a fight like that, to stand up and to make people happy at the off chance that you're going to get one big fight against Conor McGregor, I don't think that's worth it when you can potentially extend your reign as champion and, have a consistent, not only flow of income, at least at the level you're used to, but an actual title, which I would believe is the end game for all of these fighters.
And Brady, to answer your question, it's tough to really make an answer to that. Like, everybody has different percentages, and everybody has different tiers, right? So you might get nothing for like the first 50,000, or it's probably 200,000. Like nothing for the first 200,000. You might get like $1 for everything 200 to 500, $2 for like 500 to $1 million, and like $3 for anything over that. Like you get tiers based on how you negotiate your contract. So believe me, he did really, really well on this because he does have pay-per-view points. This was his biggest payday by far.
So are you suggesting that he could have made $3 a pay-per-view buy?
For like from 1 to 1.3, so like for the last 300,000. Again, right. I'm just throwing that out there. Like different fighters have different percentages.
All right. Well, if that's the case, I mean, then you're talking. I think I just did the math quickly. Is it like $5.4 million? Is that what you just said? 1, 2, and 3.
I'm just throwing out that as a general thing. Like I don't know what his deal is. He could have $1 for every pay-per-view. I don't know. Everybody's different, but a lot of them do have tiers in their contract.
Okay.
And I imagine Masvidal had tiers.
Brady says that he came off very well. I think he's a good speaker. I just don't know that people are going to gravitate to him. I think he does talk some trash. I mean, his, being an American rant after the, or maybe it was before, well, I think it was after the Colby fight was freaking dynamite. Basically, he's like, I'm more an American than Colby Covington is, that asshole.
Of course.
He basically was, I'm the American dream.
Yeah.
I'm the American dream. Yeah, and for Left Coast Mike, like no one here, I would, I'm not suggesting that, I could do better. Or I would fight a certain style. It's not what we're saying. Just saying there's a carrot out there in Conor McGregor, and you'd like to see him fight a more exciting fight, but I totally understand it. Curtis Blade, same thing. And Adam's point on the show today, Kamaru Usman basically says what he's going to do, and that's what he does, and then everyone gets all pissed off. But they don't, unfortunately, the average fan, casual fan who buys pay-per-view doesn't look at the press clippings before the fight, and UFC is not going to be like, hey, just so you know, this guy's a wrestler and that's his strength, and he's probably going to just clinch, grab, foot stomp, try to take it to the ground. It's gonna be pretty boring, but tune in anyway, buy it.
Which by the way, your point too about like the whole Conor McGregor thing, doesn't he, I mean, I guess you get the payday, but the only reason why I think you would never get that fight either, Steve, is let's say he takes the chance, knocks out Masvidal. But I think you, me, and everybody else who watches knows what he's going to do the second he gets in the ring with Conor McGregor. So, like, even if he took the chance, right? And no.
But, John, I think we know that. But again, the casual fans right now who are like, Usman is boring, would absolutely be into him if he had freaking cracked Masvidal's skull. They're going to buy off of what they've seen recently. And unfortunately, they don't remember the Covington fight now if Usman's like, hey, I want Conor McGregor.
No, I'm just saying the power. I don't think the powers that be would want that. I'm not right. Like they would foresee what the fight would be and not want that in their main event with a Conor McGregor.
It's also amazing, just on a side note, of like what people know or don't know or think they know, or like the experts that are coming out. Like John actually has become an expert by actually studying and watching. But I was talking to some people the other day that were talking about Masvidal, and they're claiming to be like the biggest Masvidal fans in the world. And like the reason I like him is because he either knocks you out or gets knocked out. There's no decisions with this guy. That's okay. So for the last 3 fights, yes, that's true. But what, 28 of his 49 career fights have gone the distance?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's well over half. It's like, what are you talking about? You're just making shit up.
But I saw him beat up Nate Diaz.
Yeah. Okay. It's one fight. It's just unbelievable what people think they know from watching one UFC fight.
Just for Brady, talking about the parlays with Usman and the over, I did bet Usman distance, so I didn't lose the fight.
Yeah.
I could come in here ranting and raving about the decision with Holloway, but I'm not going to do that. I had 3-1 that he would win by decision. Adam, what'd you have it?
48-47 Holloway.
God damn it!
Thought he won the first 3 rounds.
All right. What was the message he sent out today? Didn't he send out a message? Leave the media alone. Stop attacking the media who said it wasn't a robbery. It's a very convoluted tweet that Holloway sent out.
He's mad at a lot of people, like just for being mean online. But yeah, there's, there was a big narrative out there the other night of like all these people saying robbery, and then a lot of people analyzing it back and saying like, listen, Holloway clearly won the first 2. The last 3 rounds were very close. You could make a case for Volkanovski in all 3. So it's not a robbery. Like your problem is with how the scoring system is based. It's not with how the judges scored it. Like, if you see somebody dominate 2 rounds and then barely get beat in the other 3, like you're going to think at the end of the fight, like, oh, that guy that won those 2 rounds and got those knockdowns, that guy won. But that's not how fights are scored. So, it's like a football game where a team puts up like 600 yards, but they can't get in the end zone, and the other team scores a couple of times and they win. Like, well, that team looked clearly dominant. Well, yeah, that's not how the scoring system works. You don't get points for yards. So it's just more based on people being mad about that. And so there's this big thing about all these media people were like, well, this is not a robbery. This is how, this is how fights are scored, and this is how it came to be this way. And then Holloway's fans were like sending out death threats.
That's
so
awesome.
Holloway's like, all right, settle down.
Death threats.
So
I want to know who
out of the game, because that used to be one thing I do all the time and be like, there's no such thing as robberies. They're very rare. Cut it out. And when Dana says that, when Dana suggests there's some foolishness with scoring, it's like, dude, you're just undermining your sport. Cut it out.
I want to know who Ali is mad at. Ali Abdelaziz, one of the top managers in the MMA world, who has a very questionable past, tweeted out today that he's mad at somebody from ESPN who's going after his champions, and ESPN and TSN in Canada will no longer be allowed to talk to any of his fighters. And I really want to know who he's mad at. I don't know.
I would
that's a good move. Yeah, that's a good move, by the way. That's really good for your fighters.
Yeah, exactly.
Way to limit who they talk to. The other thing is each one of those companies will see his name and be like, who the fuck is this? All right.
Oh, the higher ups, yes, of course. Yeah. Of course they will.
Like who?
Yeah. It's amazing. And as you said, like, okay, what, you're mad at one fighter? Is one fighter mad? Or, you're mad because on behalf of one of your like 200 fighters? So now the other 199 will not be able to do ESPN interviews now?
Yep.
Like, what are you talking about?
Like some middle tier fighter, right? It's going to be like, sorry, I can't take this interview.
Sorry, I'm not allowed to do this.
God,
it's just unbelievable.
My boy dirty.
I hope it's Brett. That's what I really hope. I hope he's mad at Brett.
He gets people annoyed, man. Gets people annoyed. Where do we go next? I like the Woj topic, but I said a lot today, so I probably should just pipe down. No, I didn't say anything like over the line. I have strong feelings.
He's an anti-Wojer.
Really?
No, I'm a pro Wojer. Levitard's the anti-Wojer.
Oh yeah.
Explain this. I listened to Levitard's show today. What was the anti-Woj? I didn't understand.
Here, I'll let you listen to it. He was just like, well, you can't do that on the company email, and just not the right thing to do. What are you talking about? Free speech guy who wants to push back. And the other thing, and I'll explain it to the audience, this was totally a work. At some point, the goal in the beginning was fake. and then it took off today is even more fake.
If you're Adrian Wojnarowski, basically, Stugotz, if you're any of us, your name on your email is ESPN. You're basically putting that message on corporate letterhead. And it's understandable that the company wouldn't want that in any way. Like, I don't see an argument on the other side of, I don't see the free Woj argument.
I do. One, why was he suspended ultimately? Right? If you guys missed the story on the stream, a senator from Missouri sent an email to ESPN and was talking about, the approach to China from the NBA, the approach to China by ESPN. He was all, worked up that there's going to be a lot of BLM messages, equality messages. He was also asking about, honoring law enforcement, and Woj, for some reason, because Woj has this in him, which again, people don't know, but Woj wrote back to the senator, "Fuck you." Mm-hmm. So ultimately, why was he suspended?
I thought it was for saying "fuck you" with company email just in general.
In general, or to a senator?
No, I thought I took it as like responding with a company email saying "fuck you."
Yeah, I think you could tell fans. I guarantee there's been ESPN people in the past who have said "fuck you" to fans. Or to another media member. I think it's because it was a senator.
No, I'm saying, like, to Lebitard's point, he didn't just say "fuck you." And obviously, yes, I get like why you would think it was a senator, because I think in their statement, right, they said something about a senator. But I think it's saying "fuck you" to anybody using the company email. I think if Woj
if it wasn't the company email, then what?
I think you're fine. I don't think you get suspended. I think it's like you said, it's like you're using the company email. Like when you're emailing people, it says "Woj, ESPN, fuck you." Like that's. I don't think the company wants that. Like if you were to send an email to somebody with your LV radio account, right? Like I don't think Lotus would be too thrilled about that. And I think that to me that was what the issue was.
And for ASU Whiskers, dude, if you judge everything through a political lens, then that's on you, man. With the if he says it to a Democrat, I wonder your thoughts. Adam, what did I say about the China thing today?
If
a politician, yes, Josh Hawley's right. But here's my thing on senators in general. I don't care. I don't care if I email back a senator, "fuck you." You work for us. Most of them are shitbags. So it doesn't matter if it's a right, a left. They're mostly pieces of crap. They are. They're in office to continue to be in office. I truly believe most of them are making a fortune while they're in office. I don't care. And I agree with Hawley on the China thing. But here's where it was a work, is that as soon as Hawley got what he needed, right? Like he got someone. He got someone to flip out. Because, come on, the initial email is not he really cares about law enforcement or he really cares about China. Because there are plenty of issues to talk about with China outside of Woj and ESPN. He was trying to get someone. He got him. And then he sends out the screen cap and he tags Outkick and Clay Travis. And then he was on Travis this morning. Come on. We don't see what just happened here. It's a work. It's wrestling. He just got him. Woj fell victim. ESPN can't just blow it off because ESPN hears all the time about how left-wing they are. So every once in a while, they got to react and, try to appear. And I think there are a lot of people there who are balanced, but, kind of play that game of being balanced.
Yes.
It's not really, your take was not really about politics at all. Just people in general. You don't have more respect.
Actually, my take is I have an incredible amount of, or I have a lack of respect for people in office. I have never looked at someone my age in office. You think I'm going to sit there and call them sir? And I don't give a shit. Who cares? You're an elected official. In the end, you work for us. Deal with some nasty language every once in a while. Those days are past, man. They're human beings just like the rest of us. And many of them aren't doing what they're supposed to do. So maybe they need a fuck you every once in a while. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's true. And you're talking about the fact of not treating your politicians like they're special. Treat them like you treat everybody else and not having any higher standards for how you deal with them, which I think is fine. I think all those things are fine.
How many videos have you seen of politicians in their own district or in Washington? Someone comes up to them, they're trying to talk to them. They're like, no comment. They just get in an elevator and just ignore them like they're not people. Like, you motherfucker, who put you here? Speak to your constituents. Who are you?
I would agree with all that, except for mayor pro tem. I think that's a really important position.
Yes, it is.
Yes, that needs respect.
Yeah,
for sure.
And believe me, we were certainly pro Steve Sisolak when he was pushing the stadium, were we? Yeah.
No,
$750 million boondoggle. That nonsense. But Holly's right, and this is an issue. And Adam Silver isn't. This is embarrassing. This is all for money. And if someone were profiting off in the United States, if someone were clearly, well, if the NBA was allowing some horrific act to be going down with Black Americans just because they made a profit off it, you think that would be allowed? Do you think that wouldn't be called out? So the Chinese thing is a big issue.
Sure.
Listen, I don't run the NBA, but it'd be nice if Adam Silver actually said something, make a statement.
I think we've been pretty consistent on this.
You can't be the woke league and then not say anything about one of our enemies threatening you and not delivering on human rights. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I think we've been pretty consistent. Well, no, I think you think the whole overall, every time we've talked about it, been pretty consistent. Like there's when you're in an argument with somebody about this sort of topic and they bring up the China, you have no response other than be like, you're right. Like, you're right. They should have said something. A lot of these guys should have said something. So no, it's not about politics. Like, yeah, the NBA at a certain point has been hypocritical.
Yep.
Yeah. And LeBron doing business with China and everything else that he does too. Yeah. Well, okay. This one bothers me a little bit. That Brady said. So
Brady
yeah,
said that NBA site was allegedly allowing kill cops but not free Hong Kong on jerseys and shirts today.
Yeah, this is a huge Clay Travis pushed agenda item. I think what I was doing a little bit of research on it earlier. I think that they just have not gotten all of the filters set. And like now that people are trying to do other things, like, oh, we'll add this one to the list now too.
Right.
Did they add free Hong Kong? Yes, you cannot put free Hong Kong on there. And people are like, what about this? Oh, it won't let you do this. What about this? Won't let you do this. What about this? What about kill cops? Oh, it lets you do it. Yeah, because they haven't put the filter in yet.
Right. I'm sure.
So now that people are trying to do it, right now they're going to try to do it. Now they're going to put it up, and then people are going to find new things that they haven't put up, and then they'll put up filters for that. But yes, they do have a filter. You can't do free Hong Kong, it's ridiculous. And they're going to get to these other ones too at some point.
Are we really going to give them a pass though? They don't have anyone smart enough there to make sure that kill cops is filtered out.
No, I think now that people are putting it in, they're going to start. Who thinks somebody's going to put a kill cops jersey?
You have to think of everything.
Can I ask what this is? Like, what is this for? Like for fans to buy custom jerseys or
like
what?
Custom, like you go in and you just type what you want to put on the jersey.
Yeah.
And if you type free Hong Kong, it just says it cannot do this. And so like if there's a certain phrase that does, but like but you can do like free HNK, whatever. You can like abbreviate it because they haven't got to those filters. And if people start typing those in, then they'll start blocking those too.
You do understand what you thought of free Hong Kong, but for some reason, kill cops was not a thought. That's a gaffe. That's a gaffe that can't happen. You're already being ripped for the Hong Kong and China stuff. You obviously thought of that. Hawley just sent an email, mentioning law enforcement, and you don't block out anything that's anti-law enforcement?
Right, but I'm sure they've blocked out like "fuck the police," a more typical statement that people would try to put in there. They've blocked out, and then when people started trying to put free Hong Kong 2 weeks ago or a month ago, whenever you want to start putting it on, then people started typing it in. Then they blocked it.
Do you think
I think they have a filter for commonly used phrases that they try to block out.
Somebody should go put in FUCDAPOPO.
Right.
Fuck the popo. Let's see if they have
That's
that.
probably not blocked yet. But if enough people put it in, they'll probably block it.
Well, they can't. They got to get it right. They got to stop these gaffes. Cut it out.
Sure.
I don't know. Listening to all this, I think the
NBA
is pro cop murder. Actually,
yes, that's what it is.
I don't think they are, but
I do.
They certainly top of mind is free Hong Kong and China. They're worried about that all the time. So
we could go to
Woj
the
is out. Woj is out 2 weeks, and I guess everyone disagrees with me. So just don't do it from your company email. If it's personal, then it might be an issue. But I don't know. I'm too old to be calling senators ma'am and sir anymore. So I've seen too much.
Good. Don't
done
do
with
that.
it.
Show disrespect. I like that.
Well, I'm very polite to our guests. I was very polite to what's his face there. We got to get Ross Miller on, but Stavros Anthony. That was Sean Mangano got all mad at me because I was too polite.
I'm on the customizable jerseys page right now.
Yeah.
There's one that's on sale, like 25% off. The old Nuggets jersey. And Steve, that's one of my favorite jerseys.
Love it.
In all of sports.
Tetris.
I'm going to get this. What name should I put on it?
Try the fuck the popo.
Medium is the biggest they got. I don't think that's going to work for me.
It will one day. You just keep trying.
All right. What do you want?
FUCDAPOPO.
All right. Looks like it's allowed.
Nice. See, NBA hates cops.
Let's see.
Why is this not all filtered out?
Actually, I think I can put Free Hong Kong, just not hashtag Free Hong Kong.
Can you imagine? Like that's what they filtered.
It's great.
What about Liberate HK?
All right, I'll try that one. Let's see. Liberate HK. Good to go.
Nice.
We got it. So see that's the issue. Like they just haven't blocked certain phrases yet. That's the problem.
This is a good question on the Woj thing, and we addressed this on the show. What employee gets away with doing what Woj did? What's a company that would do nothing? ESPN would do nothing if it were Stephen A. Smith.
Don't believe that.
I do.
Nah.
Oh, like
he has that much power. And you know what? I'm not sure that Fox would suspend Clay Travis. It's his brand. I think it's great for Fox.
Of course. Well, I mean, what about people think of Barstool as its own thing. It's not. It's corporate owned. People know that, right? They sold out to corporate entity.
Right.
He does this stuff. Portnoy does this stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So what company? Many.
Yeah.
Many on the right.
They just named a podcast with the N bomb.
Yeah.
Just going N dot I dot G dot G dot. I'll stop. But they just did that. I don't know. What would you call? Do movies? Movie companies still have movie makers still have contracts with. Do they have one-offs with actors and actresses? Or they have contracts, right?
Some of them. It's mostly one-offs. I think.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's plenty of actors and actresses who are powerful enough who could tell a senator to fuck off. By the way, how many people have told? How many people have told like Ted Cruz to fuck off?
How many people has he told to fuck off?
It seems like every day they're like he's going back and forth with people.
Yeah, this is. I mean, it's as you said. I think it was a bit from some people. Free Woj. I'll try to do that one.
Obviously, this is my jersey.
Yeah. What do you get, Steve? The Free Woj.
Watch, Steve's gonna blow up because they're gonna have that filtered.
Free Woj.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in. Oh, it looks great. The jersey looks great.
Does it? With the Nuggets?
Oh yeah.
Well, I think the only medium person we know is Ari. So you want to get Ari a free Woj? What is it? Is it? By the way, is this from China? Or is this the official NBA
no, it's
site?
the official NBA site.
How much is this jersey?
It's on sale for $105.
Ooh, I thought it was gonna be like $200.
No, it's on sale. I'm getting it.
Whoever has to do this deserves a raise. As middle-aged kid says, you can't possibly filter out every phrase, spelling, abbreviation.
You see that?
Etc. in one pass.
Free Woj.
I'll go down a little bit.
Let me see it. Hold on.
Can you?
A little to the towards the jersey. There we go.
Oh, that's awesome.
That good. Yeah.
They don't have anything bigger than a medium?
No.
Can you look at find a different team? We'll get this later.
No, we got to get the Nuggets. We got to get the Nuggets one.
The Nuggets one's nice.
That is nice.
Although
the other ones are more expensive too.
My second favorite is the Miami Vice jerseys. Those are pretty sick.
Oh, those are good.
Or the Prince Timberwolves ones are pretty good too.
A lot of the old Warriors one. I like that one.
Yeah.
The 76ers with 70 spelled out.
What is it?
The 76ers one with 70 spelled out.
I warned everyone before the show. I was like, we are going to downplay the freaking Redskins name change. I knew it was going to happen. What's your angle on the Redskins name change, John? If you're getting ready to do a sports talk radio show and then that morning it comes out, hey, whatever, Sunday, comes out, hey, we're changing the name.
Okay. Like, this should have been done. Like, okay. Like, cool. Let's move on.
Well,
I don't know.
I heard some guests. I think it was a guest on Freddie Coleman, and the guest was basically like, we're not going to give him credit, right? And I'm like, no, I didn't even mention that. Like, did anyone go on the air today and like pat Dan Snyder on the back? And
I saw a column from somebody, but I don't know who it was, just saying like that. It's even though it's overdue, you got to give them credit. Like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
It's corporate pressure.
It's been reported behind the scenes that Snyder's still pissed, and it's like kind of pushing back against it anyway. Like, no, they don't deserve any credit. But I also so it was twofold. One, it was like, it should have been done a long time ago. I don't think it's really that much news. The other part is it's like, everything that happened with George Floyd and where we've been up to this point, like where it all started, like Washington Redskins changing their name is good. But I don't think this is what all the protests were for, right? Like,
no.
Right? Like, it's just so far from where we started to, like, I just don't understand it. It was like such a different tangent, like from like, the syrup and the cream of wheat and all that kind of stuff to where we're at right now. And like, that's all great. But like the original point was, the whole police brutality, African-Americans getting killed by police officers. But here we are. It's a positive, but should have been done a long time.
Some are kind of opportunistic. Like, a lot of people, I think, know that this has been in the work for a long time, and the federal, or not the federal government, the Washington D.C. government has been putting pressure on them and basically saying, like, you're not getting a new stadium in D.C. unless you change your name. It's not going to happen. And that's been going on for like 4 years. And so with FedEx and Pepsi and other corporations putting their foot down this time and putting their weight behind it a little bit, that really led to change happening, but. This has been a long process, and I think people just saw the opportunity, in this climate to take advantage of something they've been working on for a long time.
Everyone realizes like what a dickhead this guy is, right, Snyder?
Oh, yeah.
Like I saw some stories over the weekend. I was kind of reminded. I'm like, man, this dude, Holden Kushner, who's done radio all over the country, but I thought the story was interesting because we're not big fans of Phil Simms. But Holden claims that 5 or 6 years ago, Phil Simms refused to say Redskins during the CBS broadcast. Holden was told that Dan Snyder met with the CBS brass and tried to force Simms to say it. Like, what? He did accidentally 1 or 2 times. Snyder is just a horrible individual. I mean, listen, we mock on Phil Simms for like his depth of knowledge is a little bit. I think he knows football. I think he's just not as eloquent as some of the new guys like Romo. But can you imagine? Dan Snyder, 5'3", and I'm guessing he didn't tell Simms to his face, but like Phil Simms has to say Redskins. Like, are you insane, dude?
Do you think he sent an email to Phil Simms? Dan Snyder at WashingtonRedskins.com. Fuck you.
Yeah, we would have backed that one.
By the way, I've also customized the jersey with Free Hong Kong, so I don't know what people are talking about.
Yeah, Adams, this podcast is done tonight.
It's done.
Adam's, he's just gone.
Well, that's the thing too. It's also like we talked about, like big picture, Adam. Like nobody cares. Like it doesn't matter that that's not true, right? It's just somebody tweeted it out. I'm sure maybe not even it wasn't even actually done.
Is it on there?
Yeah, it's on there. Free Hong Kong. Yep,
of course.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna order it. I'm gonna make it happen.
Hang it on your wall.
Yeah, right back there. Perfect.
John, what should the new name be? Do you care?
Not really. I mean, I do kind of like a few of them just because they sound cool.
Sny Dogs.
The Sny Dogs. No, the what is it? What are a couple? I think Arkansas State's the Red Wolves, right? Red Wolves is bad. What's the Air Force connected one? Is it the Red Tails? Yeah,
it's a shout out to the Tuskegee Airmen, which makes sense.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Which, by the way, will never happen.
No.
Do you think he'll approve that?
Unless the NFL kind of pushes them in the direction. Like I think there was a report today, was a Pro Football Talk, who said that Goodell had actually been another force that behind the scenes had been like, come on, let's go. And so maybe does the NFL push him in that direction to save a little face? Who knows? But I think it sounds good. And, to be honest with you, I think this is a great opportunity for Washington because they have the ugliest color scheme in the National Football League.
Oh, no.
Like this is an opportunity to change everything. Their uniforms suck. The color scheme sucks. Like you just look out there and it's like just this bland, what is it, maroon and like gold and disgusting colors all out there in the middle of, I don't know. I think they
Adam, what are the colors?
Maroon or burgundy and gold. Sorry.
Burgundy and gold. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, they're keeping the colors. And I'm telling you, he will have red. He will have red in that name. It's red something.
Yeah.
What about the red light district?
That'd be great too. The president of the Navajo Nation actually spoke out what he wanted the name to be. Did you see that?
No.
It's not happening.
What is it?
The president of the Navajo Nation is Jonathan Nez. He wants the Code Talkers.
I think that's kind of cool, but
it would be cool.
For a football
There's no way. There's no way they do that.
What about the? Wasn't there another term for that too? Was it? It's a movie, like the Wind, not the Wind Talkers, something like that. I don't know.
Like they would be talking about that.
But no, like the movie, if I remember the movie correctly, it was like a World War II movie, but they were code breakers and was tied in with like the Native Americans somehow.
Yeah, it was Wind Talkers.
It was a Wind Talkers? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a change. The lowercase k does change everything.
It does. I think that would work. What if you just go all out with what Snyder wants to do and make it the Reds KKKans?
Well, why don't you just make it the Washington Reds?
They're good too.
The Browns, the Reds.
Well, Steve likes some name named after Dan Snyder.
Yeah. I think he's going to go Paul Brown like he did with the Browns.
Yeah.
Danny Boys.
That's why I went with the Snide Dogs.
Snide Dogs.
There's no red in that.
Well, Steve, no, he doesn't need red because Steve believes that Snide Dog was like Dan Snyder's like frat name when he was pounding beers. Snide Dog.
When he was a freshman at Maryland, he had his hat on backwards and he was shooting. He's like, the Snide Dog. Oh, the Snide Dog, another shot.
Like
hanging
the
out with
Nard
Scott
Dog.
Van Pelt. They were best buddies.
Yeah. They're not the same age, are they?
I would think it'd be something stupider.
Stupider than Snide Dog?
Like the sniper, because he was always killing it with the ladies.
Yeah.
How SNYPER?
Yeah.
If he suggested the snipers after 20 years ago when the bullets are like, we can't be the bullets anymore.
Right.
Yeah, I want that gun thing back.
Especially when DC not that long ago had the sniper as a serial killer on the loose in DC.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't really think that works.
No, you're right. Snyder.
The why changes everything.
It does change. It's not the same thing. Yeah, Snyder is probably 7 years older than Van Pelt. So,
God, that creepy voicemail that Van Pelt left.
Oh God.
John, you've heard
actually,
that, right?
you know what? I was wrong. Van Pelt's older than I thought. But
Rings a bell. What is that?
Van Pelt's 53 and Snyder's 55. But Snyder dropped out after his sophomore year. So loser. He went pro.
So they were close.
Education. What's that?
They were pretty close in age then.
Yeah, 55 and 53. But I think by the time Snyder was out after his sophomore year, and then Van Pelt came to campus.
Got Van Pelt. Received July 27th at 5:14 p.m.
What?
You got Van Pelt. We shared a brief but exceptionally meaningful bottle-and-cork relationship last Saturday. I'm sure you remember it. Or maybe you don't. Just wanted to touch base. I figured sending text gets real tedious with the typing and whatnot. It's really easy to just actually call up and leave a rambling message, which I'm great at. Enjoying meeting you. I knew as soon as you left that I'd never see you again. As a veteran of many duty summers, you have your crew of people. Once you lose track of somebody, they're going someplace else, and you're never going to see them again. That's how that went. So. Understood, but for what it's worth, you did have everything on my checklist. Like I have a very lengthy checklist, and anyone striking me out as if I really should even have a checklist. And at this point, I probably should talk to any woman that isn't like club-footed have 4 limbs, and you don't have Bell's palsy and a club foot, I probably ought to be real, like, just signing up. But I do have a checklist, and as I recall, you're passing everything. So with that in mind, if I don't catch up with you this weekend and you don't make it back down or whatever, starting at plans, I will be happy to fly back down at some point and take you out to dinner like a civilized human being. So just let me know. Hopefully we catch up again. If not, it was a pleasure to meet you. Take care, Sam.
What the fuck?
I'm so mad right now.
You've never heard that, John?
No.
Oh, my
it's
God.
fantastic. So good.
He should be suspended for that shit.
Yep.
Wow, that was bad.
Yep.
So good.
Oh, it's real.
Oh, it is sadly too real.
I take it. Since the voicemail's out, she didn't call back.
I think she put that right out on Deadspin.
Dude, how bad was he with her?
Oh,
Not only she's like, I'm not calling him back. Now you piss me off with this groveling nonsense. Now I'm really gonna fuck you over.
I'm terrible at those phone calls, but I'm pretty sure once you mentioned Bell's palsy, you're just out. Like you've gone in the wrong direction.
Well, here's the question. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's different now because even his like rambling about like, yeah, you know, I text you about the tedious typing and whatnot. I figure I'd leave a rambling message. Like, what
is this?
Yeah, I don't think you leave a voicemail in this situation. You text.
Well, it was like 15 years ago or something, maybe like 10 at least. I think it's a different world in terms of texting now. Yeah, this is pre. Maybe that's the one he ended up marrying. I don't know.
You think?
No.
Because that was a bonding moment when you totally embarrassed me with this voicemail, which, by the way, I can't get rid of.
It's out there. I mean, how easy was it for John to find it?
Took me 2 seconds. It was the first video.
Exactly.
I think somebody added the piano music.
I so do I. I think
it is the first thing that comes up. Scott Van Pelt's legendary voicemail.
Do you think he's cheesy enough that he was actually playing the piano as he left the message?
No, I've heard it without the music, so I don't think it was that.
Would he? This is actually a good. Brady's making a joke here about. At least he didn't use his ESPN email. Would he get canceled now? Not fired, but would he get suspended now for making light of clubfoot
palsy and club feet?
Yeah.
Yes. Probably. It's not. I mean, we don't know. Somebody just put it out. Dude, listen. I think we've all probably had some pretty embarrassing phone calls along those lines.
Yeah, of course.
But I also I want to say, imagine our worst of those phone calls being leaked. We don't know that was the worst. Like that could have been one of his best.
Right.
We don't know. It might just be so bad on the phone call.
Just to be a sad sack of shit, and chicks are like, "Yeah, I'll call you back."
He's gonna fly out and see her.
Yeah, I know.
He's gonna fly.
Once you start with the club feed and the Bell's palsy, it's gone in the wrong direction. I feel like you just tap out at that point.
You gotta go cool guy, don't you? Hey, it's Scott. Call me back. Whatever.
I think he was trying to be cool guy. Cool, sarcastic
I think so.
guy.
Yeah, he was trying to be very chill. It just wasn't working. Like you can't carry that on for 7 minutes or whatever.
Right? Yeah, that was way too long.
Oh yeah, I definitely think there's worse. That's only one voicemail that got leaked. He's probably had to leave a lot like that. Poor guy.
I saw you from across the bar. It started out like a missed connections post on Craigslist. Like it was so bad.
Did you say we shared a bottle and cork relationship?
Right, yeah.
I don't think that call is as bad as getting caught beating off. So, by the way, there will be a night TMI, but the video will be running as I'm cranking away after one of these videos. I just looked up and camera's still on.
You forget to cut off the live stream?
It happens. Speaking of that, let's try to figure out what Bruce Smith was watching, like in terms of porn. This was one of those moments today, John. I don't know if you heard it, but we started to get into Bruce Smith and Family Feud, and I'm like, I can't do this on terrestrial.
Wait, John, did you see the clip?
Of course.
Okay, yeah, I sent it.
You know what? I got to go back for a second though, because someone made a great comment earlier. ASU Whiskers said, "I hear Chris Berman is quite the ladies' man." Let me tell you something. He's incredibly creepy, But if that story is true about, hey, you're with me, Leather, then he is a ladies' man. Then he's totally got that story alone makes him a ladies' man over SVP in that phone call.
I don't know.
Now maybe that was the best Berman ever had, and this was the worst SVP ever had, and we're misrepresenting him.
But Berman had the weird thing with the pills and the wine.
He had some bad ones, man.
Yeah.
When he was like grunting and he was
that's pre-John also, I think. I don't think John knows about those either.
Oh no, I know that we played the clip over and over again. It's like, oh, I got you that bottle of wine. Yeah. So good. I thought about you when I was drinking it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Rebecca.
Rebecca, that was her name.
Yep, it was Rebecca.
Rebecca. Oh, it's our last one.
I know. I just found out.
You're bummed, huh? I'm not.
Well, I know you're not.
Oh, wait, we're going to finish this. Almost done. How are you? How was Chris? Well, I mean, the wine was good. And did you think of me when you drank it?
Yeah.
Like, did
we
you
toasted you. I'm like,
like squirm a little bit?
No.
By the way, stop it. That is John. Where'd you find that? I want to play it with better quality. What was it? Just
YouTube. Chris flirts with Rebecca. Chris Berman flirts with Rebecca.
You put Rebecca in there.
Poor Rebecca.
By the way, it's a video too. So like when you play it, you'll actually get footage of him squirming.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
No.
Rebecca.
So creepy.
Did you?
This
when you were
What would you do now with the environment? And this should have been always the case. What would you do now if one of your coworkers did that in front of you with a woman? About the swarm part too.
Oh, you got to tell him to chill. That's weird.
That is weird.
Bro, keep it in your pants, dude. What are you doing? Get out of here.
I mean, which VSiN host is most likely to do it?
Well, you could do a search. It's been done. Not that hard.
Most of them are gone, I think.
Look at Rebecca.
I could see Paul making some weird comments.
Oh, yeah.
The volume's super low, so pipe down for a second here. Let me punch it up. She actually hugged him.
Finish this. Almost done.
I mean, she wanted it.
How are you?
I'm kidding.
Well, I mean,
I'm sure that's what he's thinking.
Rebecca. Look at Rebecca. Oh, it's our last one.
I know. I just found out.
Ugh, look at how long that takes. Look where his hand is. That hand right there.
You're
Weird
bummed.
guy.
Well, I know you're not.
Oh, wait, we're going to finish this. Almost done. How are you? How
Oh,
was
see that look at the ass?
Chris?
She walked away.
The wine was good. Did you think of me when you drank it?
Yeah.
Like,
Watch.
did you like squirm a little bit?
No.
Come on.
I was in a Japanese restaurant. We don't squirm so much.
Oh, he did it! I forgot about that part too. Did he did like what I guess his impression of like a stereotypical Asian face? What was that? All of a sudden he went into like like come on. Let's see this.
I was in a Japanese restaurant. You can only squirm so much. It went well with sushi.
Oh my god. Oh, I forgot how good these videos were. Did you squirm? She's like, no, it's a Japanese restaurant. Come on. Goes back into his character.
It's so creepy.
Oh.
Good Lord, Berman. There's not enough. Yes. I thought there was something with the pills too. I didn't really hear it there. There's got to be more just like sports dudes being creepy out there somewhere.
All right. Well, there's also the reports of all of them too. We don't have audio, but wasn't Tarico was a fucking weirdo too, wasn't he?
Yep.
Oh, the whole ESPN frat house days.
Right.
But Tarico was college at Syracuse, and then a couple years after he got popped publicly for harassment. So who knows what I hope he freaking calmed down over the years. Yeah, there's some other stories out there. We'll have to have Chrissy on again. Chrissy was around the ESPN people enough that she had to. She's got some stories. So,
a few unwarranted back rubs, huh?
Yeah.
The unwanted back rub is a really creepy move.
Fucking stop touching people.
The unsolicited back rub.
Yeah.
Well, the Salisbury thing is legendary. He was walking around with a picture of his dick on his phone, and he was like, "Hey,
baby.
want to see a picture of my baby?" And he did it repeatedly to women and guys. Like, what are you doing, dude? I mean, really? God damn it!
Is that your ringtone?
Yeah, it's a Schaefer beer commercial.
Nice. I don't think we know what kind of wine it was. I don't know that was the most important part of the story.
Some Moscato.
I feel like that was my neighbor calling me, the one that I said I was going to eat.
Really?
No, I thought you said it was the one that was fattening you up.
She's texting about my cat.
Uh-oh, what's it doing? He's
standing in front of our car. She just took a picture. She's like, "Is this Debbie's cat in front of your car now?" Yes.
What the fuck? That seems.
Well, here's the
problem. What does she want you to do?
Well, here's the problem. We just got the cat groomed, and we got him that lion cut again.
Okay.
So this cat's like a giant furry cat, and then we cut like all of its fur off because it's 110. So the cat looks a little creepy.
By the way, if your cats don't see each other for like 2 days, do they forget each other and like attack?
No.
I know somebody that works in the PR business in Vegas had her cats separated. One was like in the hospital for 2 days or something, and it came home and they were fighting.
Really?
She posted a picture of it. I was like, "What did they forget each other that quickly? Those savages!"
I don't think they maybe just don't like each other.
I think cats are like that all the time. They're like that all the time.
They're the worst.
Every day you have no idea if they're going to get along. They're going to freaking snuggle and cuddle, or if they're going to be beating the shit out of each other.
They're the worst.
I grew up with 2 cats, and the female cat, Contessa, and then Roger was the dude. But Contessa would always go up to the top. Whenever Roger was at the top of, we had the super big, what's it, cat, structure, whatever it is. That got like halfway to the second floor. And every time Roger would be at the top, she would see him climb up there purposely just to kick him out. It's very rude. And I mean, like,
actually,
push him over the edge.
I would actually say her name, Martini Maker. I don't think anybody actually knows who she is outside of like the media.
Who, the neighbor?
No, saying rhymes with. I said a PR person in town.
Oh,
I think he's saying rhymes with who, yeah.
I think he was going back to my cat.
Oh. Which one is it?
It's our cat Seamus, the Irish one. Cats are like JVT, a lot of attitude. The joke, cats get pissed at being called pussy. All right.
I don't think they know what that means.
I just don't understand why every single cat, it's 100%. Maybe you know, Steve, because you're a cat whisperer. Why does every cat get attracted to pss, 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 pss? Like, why is that? Like, there's a wild cat in so when I used to work at night, like 10 to midnight, I would leave, and there would always be this same cat that was walking around the apartment complex, and every time I go, pss, 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 and it would like walk up to me and walk with me to my car. I have no idea where the cat was from. Maybe it could have bitten me and given me some sort of disease, but that was my friend. It was my homie. But why do cats love that? And it's more pss, 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 pss than
because they're mindless. They have no attitude or mind or anything. They just exist and look for food.
I will research that. I'm sure there's something to it.
Yeah.
Try it on your cats. See what happens.
There's a cat guy. I can't remember his name. He's got a weird name. Weird look.
Does catnip work? Is catnip real?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they go crazy.
I saw a TikTok where somebody made a catnip tea and gave it to the cat, and then like the cat was just like sprawled out, like
whacked,
tripping.
All right, are we ready for this?
Nobody's ever ready for this.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it's one of the great moments in TV history. It's one of the great moments in game show history. Bruce Smith, Family Feud. I think I know what he was thinking, but let's play it.
If Captain Hook was moonlighting as a handyman, he might replace his hook with what tool?
A hammer.
Try again.
A penis.
Tell me the age a kid is too old to sleep with a what he said?
Chris Carter went like and one mixtape, ran off.
Do you have the old drop?
Oh, the old Steve Harvey, yeah. It's crazy. That was pretty good though. He kept going, and all of a sudden he's like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, that was good. He's a professional. I'm sure he heard it right off the bat, but like he's awesome at what he does. That was hilarious.
It was such a great pause. I think it just took a second to register because
You're right.
he's trying to get into that next question.
And the audience doesn't even really it doesn't register with the audience too much either.
Yeah, for sure. It takes a second.
So what do we go to first? Do we go to what you should put on that hook as a replacement, or why he was thinking of penis?
Well, if he was a handyman, right? Like that was the thing.
If Captain Hook was going to become a handyman.
Let me listen to it again.
If Captain Hook was moonlighting as a handyman, he might replace his hook with what tool?
So it's pretty specific.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I had a whole list. I was thinking of like tools that I would use around the house, like stuff that I use every day that I would replace the hook with. And I was thinking like tongs. I was thinking like a litter scoop. The question is basically which tool is most useful for a handyman. Well, I mean, if you watch porn with like a fake handyman, I guess it could work.
I guess.
No. I think he said penis on purpose. I think they're told get a little zany with it. Have a little fun.
No, don't suggest it was fake. That's not right. Really?
What?
No, because he tried to give the right answer.
No, but you're also I'm sure they're told like, hey, have fun with it, do whatever. He got stumped. He didn't know it. So he was like, let's have some fun with it.
Flashlight. That's a good one. Screwdriver. He was thinking of Megan Thee Stallion. Yeah, I agree.
I feel like a screwdriver wouldn't.
Brady says hammer, screwdriver, no other answers necessary. Well, there's going to be more answers necessary if hammer's gone.
No, it's only two. Right. Only two answers get given on this question. So you really just need two. I get where you say an answer, it's gone, and then you have to try to quickly reshift your mind and think about it. But like, I just don't know how your mind goes there.
Eli's usually a moron. I don't mean that in a bad way. But he actually kind of nails it here. Wouldn't just another hand work? You
sure.
You want it?
But doesn't it say what tool would he replace it with?
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if screwdriver's the thing.
I think it would be. I said drill or screwdriver earlier. Like what tool would you use more than that?
Saw.
As a handyman?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Have the saw right on the end.
Yeah.
Okay, any of these answers are better than the one he gave.
Yeah, like that's why when I watched it, I was just like, how do you get penis? That's stupid.
It's just stupid.
Right.
But also, Bruce is always.
Does anyone else? Does anyone in the chat room know how he got penis?
No.
I mean, maybe he just heard moonlight.
No, but he said hammer.
Well, then, yeah, I don't know.
Like, he got the right answer. That's the problem with any of these other. Like, if he misheard it and thought it was some sexual question, fine, but he said hammer first.
Also, like, come on, let's be realistic. Like, is that really going to do much for you, Captain?
Well, it's not for me. I mean, there is pegging. I mean, there are people who like that. I'm guessing he was watching porn in the last couple of days.
Last couple of days before he walked on.
That's what he was thinking right there.
That specifically?
The drill.
Oh.
With the dildo on it.
Okay.
What about
I guess.
That's everyone knows about that.
Sure, but wouldn't it just be the drill? Why not just say drill then?
Right, yeah.
I don't understand.
Well, I couldn't track down like an actual Captain Hook with the wiener on the end of like the end of the wrist.
Well, the question isn't about adding it to the hook; it's about replacing the hook.
Right, and he also, I would also like to point out, he said penis. He didn't say fake penis.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't say like dildo.
He said like the second one.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it was already ready. That's true. That's his screensaver. But also,
what are you talking about? I thought that was Steve at Rutgers.
It was. Yeah, it was. It's his frat initiation.
Yeah. I love the accusation that I just yeah. I got them all over they're all over the desktop.
John, were you listening when we did this earlier on the show?
No, I didn't get to listen to
All right, so I would say my question, you could probably guess what my biggest problem with this whole scene was, right?
Oh, well, yeah, no. I would assume. Come on.
Don't need this.
That's what he was watching.
I think I know, Adam, because I had the same thought too. The time, right?
Yes, exactly.
The second he stopped, I was like, well, wait, isn't there like no time left? Like, what's going on? Are they stopping the clock?
That was my biggest problem. The violation of the rules was completely ridiculous.
Right.
So like stop and it's fast money round.
Right. And so to like, I know like from now on, if I'm getting ready for Family Feud, like if Cofield and company had to go, the whole thing in the lightning money round is to make Steve Harvey laugh, because then we'll get to stop the clock.
Yes,
and think
get extra time.
Yes.
It's ridiculous. Please, can we? Is there something else you can put up?
Oh boy. Take this down.
I'm just telling you.
Fixing the couch? Is that what that is? What is this?
Yeah, I think so.
I may have edited out. That's an old school couch, by the way. Let me put that back up now. What the fuck is that thing? I don't know, man.
Have you ever seen Euro Trip? It's not a drill, but the
of course
the massive, like, was it like 6 of them? All turning.
Yeah. Also, Das Boot.
The safety word.
It's a good movie.
It's a really solid movie.
Way better than I thought it would be, for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, and I saw it when I was like, I don't know what year did it come out, like 13. So obviously I thought it was hilarious, you know.
But it holds up.
Does it? I haven't watched it in years.
Oh yeah, it's was it Scotty Doesn't Know?
Yeah, Scotty does.
They're just singing and he's just gotta like listen to the song.
It's Matt Damon, isn't it?
Yeah. That's great.
So
Steve's a little too old for Euro Trip, I feel like.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's a good segue. Adam, do you remember I don't know how I got to Howard Cosell today. How did I even get
throwing things at the TV?
Ah, okay.
You're talking about throwing foam bricks into the TV or something?
Yeah. Is there anyone old enough to remember this bit with Howard Cosell? So this news story it's really small, but in the corner says Broncos fans throw bricks at TV and Cosell. And they actually did it. They had little foam bricks, right? That said like Cosell brick on it, and you could throw it at the TV because people hated Howard Cosell so much. The glory days of broadcasting.
It's good.
It's a good gimmick.
Yeah. So I just wanted you to know that I wasn't just making it up.
No, I believed you. I like that deal on tires, Aramid tires at JCPenney.
I know. Business is booming at the Sweetwater Pub since owners began a raffle with the winner getting to toss the brick through maybe it's a real brick. In this case, toss the brick through a television set at sportscaster Howard Cosell.
Nice.
Why do they hate him so much?
He's a loudmouth.
Okay.
He's like the original sports talk guy, really. An idol. There's nothing wrong with that.
No. I don't remember why we got to that though. Like what the
I have no idea.
Reference was. Throwing something at TVs.
No idea. Speaking of old, did we get to see President Trump talking about Lou Saban today in Alabama football?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You want to explain this one? Oops.
Well, the candidate that he has endorsed in the Alabama Senate race for the Republican in the primary, I think it's tomorrow actually, is Tommy Tuberville.
Yes.
Former Auburn coach. And he is up against Jeff Sessions, former member of the administration, which is hilarious that he's not endorsing him. But so he's doing, a speech in support of Tuberville, and he starts referencing how Tuberville owned Alabama. And he said, well, that owning, may have created, them hiring that guy over there. Lou Saban's been really good. This Lou Saban can really coach. And not the same guy. And again, those things happen. Those mistakes happen. They're nothing. They're absolutely meaningless. that somebody would make that mistake. Especially he's talking about football coaches. He's not supposed to know those things. Whatever, fine. But like half of his candidacy is saying the other guy is senile and makes mistakes when he's talking. So you like, if you weren't doing that, then nobody cares that you're making these mistakes. They're just a kind of funny side note. But if you turn your whole campaign into that guy's too old to know anything, you can't make stupid mistakes like this. Lou Saban. I wonder if fans there are crazy enough to be like, he doesn't know the name of our coach. Like, okay, like, who cares?
You lose maybe one voter with that.
I bet you it's more in Alabama. But then I also saw people pointing out that Nick Saban's middle name is Lou. And they're like, he just knows him so well that he calls him Lou. Like, okay.
He knew.
It's so stupid.
Get out of here.
Both sides are just so out of control. That's ridiculous. But yeah, Nicholas Lou Saban, not the same as former well-traveled Lou Saban.
But doesn't it make it worse? Hasn't he been to multiple Alabama games?
Yeah, oh yeah, and he always cites them as like,
LSU in Alabama last year.
Yeah, talk to Lou Saban.
John, they're old. These guys are old.
Yeah,
that's very true.
I mean, we have advanced. I'm thinking like, I remember my grandmother she passed away at 73. She was an old lady. Like, I know we've advanced, but Jesus Christ, like I don't know how you remember stuff. And Lou Saban, Nick Saban, these guys are gonna remember shit. Biden's the same way.
By the way, so as we talk about like some people just aging faster, and especially before they age faster or whatever, are you familiar with like the Wilford Brimley line?
Mm-mm.
Do you know about this? Like, apparently, if you look at Cocoon, the movie Cocoon was about like super old people,
right?
Like, John, this is before you, I'm sure. But it was basically like these really old guys like acting like they were in high school again, right? And you think they're like 80 in the movie.
Yep.
Apparently, when they filmed it, Wilford Brimley was like 54.
Yep, he was,
and he was playing like in his 70s. And so now, like anytime somebody reaches the age that Wilford Brimley was in Cocoon, like all these people pointed out on social media, they're like, "Wow, like J-Lo is the same age today as Wilford Brimley was in Cocoon," which is just a hilarious thing. But it just the fact of people that just age at different rates or whatever or look older. Like that guy looked like he was 90 when he was 54.
I'm trying to find one because the one they did most recently was, I think, Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, I think that's how it came up.
Yep, she was last year. She turned 50. It's like, gosh, she's 18,530 days old, matching the age of Wilford Brimley on the day Cocoon was released.
John, look up the movie poster for Cocoon.
I know, I'm trying to find it so you can see.
It's so ridiculous.
It sounds like it's a boring movie name in general.
Yeah, I mean it's about coming out of their shell or whatever nonsense. It was stupid. It was not a good movie. I'm not recommending you watch it. It's just the fact that Wilford Brimley was supposed to be like super old and he was only 50.
But I assume this is not the one you're referring to, though, right? You want them on the actual...
Yeah, like, oh, yeah. Like the picture of them, like the cast release photo or whatever. You're right, it was not them on the cover.
Well, here's a side-by-side with Tom Cruise, turning probably 50, 51, next to the same age Wilford Brimley.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
By the way, am I thinking of a different Wilford Brimley movie also?
What, Cocoon?
That's not the one where he was like with a bunch of old guys.
Yeah, that's it. With like Don Amici.
There was one where he was with a bunch of like old dudes. I don't think it was that. Cocoon was more of like a serious movie, wasn't it?
What's ASU Whiskers? What's the request for some pics of who?
Jennifer Aniston, I would assume.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Wilford Brimley, also the Postmaster General. Yeah, you're throwing the most disturbing photos up, but like nothing of the one that somebody actually wanted to see.
Shows that dildo fixing that couch again.
No, don't actually. Don't have to do that.
I did want to punch this up. I forgot to put this in our all the prep that we do for this. I I don't even think this is a contest. This was TMZ the other day. You know that Chrissy Teigen had some work done? Well, recently, again.
Yeah.
Sorry, I should have been in that part. I actually think she had some complications with breast implants.
I did see that.
So she just got them changed out. Head-to-head, TMZ the other day was asking, who'd you rather? If this freaking thing will punch up. Come on now. There it is. Hold on. What a big lead up.
It's good.
See, I don't have all the pictures ready to go. I should have had this on my.
I didn't know we were going to talk about it.
Yeah, it happens.
Is Hillary Swank hot?
That's not the debate. It's not would you do her. Is she hot?
Oh man, why are we locking up? Anyway, it was Madonna head to head against Chrissy Teigen. Madonna 61. There it is.
Interesting matchup. I mean, we know
it is
Steve's
a good matchup.
Madonna. Steve's going Madonna. We know that.
I mean, I don't think it's just because of the. I think Chrissy Teigen seems like a really nice lady, but that's not really what we're interested in here. Oh, I made it too big.
That's Madonna.
That is Madonna apparently now.
That face is weird.
Wow, she's had a lot of. She's 61 years old. Come on, dude. For 61?
Face
is crutches? Did she break her leg or something?
Oh, that's right. She is on a crutch. I like how you immediately concentrated everything other than her in the picture.
Oh, we already decided Chrissy Teigen was better, and you were going to pick Madonna.
I seriously hope this is Ari being serious and not sarcastic.
Imagine because they both posted topless selfies within a day of each other.
He's right side of the screen. Ari.
I'm guessing that people saw at the TMZ office. People saw Chrissy Teigen post surgery, and they were like, "She doesn't look that great right now. Look at how hot Madonna is compared to her."
Did they meet in that room and that guy with that cup? They were like, "What do you guys got today?" I'm like, "I got it. Chrissy Teigen got some work done. Her, Madonna, pair them up."
That is literally how it works, and that's why I've always wanted to work there. It's amazing.
They really did have some duds.
I agree with this one. Christy Brinkley, 66. It's pretty crazy. How much work is?
There's something wrong with her though.
Who? Madonna?
No, Brinkley.
Yeah.
Christine Brinkley.
Run for the hills.
Oh yeah, well she's had a lot of guys over the years.
Yeah.
I think that is. You know what? You're right, Ashy Whiskers. That is a sunburn. Yes.
Yeah. It's really came to a screeching halt.
All right, we got to close. We got to close on these. All right, I get. I'm with you, Left Coast Mike. I'm with you.
We're throwing out random old ladies that are still attractive.
Sophia Loren, ridiculous, older age. Sharon Stone's very nice. Believe me, I could do. You don't want to do this.
Steve's a Jane Fonda guy.
I am a Jane Fonda guy. Just like,
is that White Snake?
85. Is Jane Fonda White Snake?
Like on the car?
Maybe at one point. No, that's no.
I was thinking it was like Tawny Katane or something.
Tawny Katane, who totally lost. And Tawny Katane's probably early 60s, and Jane Fonda looks a lot better than her now, so she kind of lost it.
I don't think Jane Fonda was doing White Snake videos. That would be funny though.
Let's close on a sports topic. You did see tonight after we went off the air that Armani Rogers already picked a school.
I did not see that actually.
I didn't see this.
I think you're going to like it. You guys know college football.
Sure.
And I don't know what their situation is at quarterback, but Armani Rogers is going to go to Ohio with Frank Solich.
Okay.
Perfect.
Nice.
Right?
Run some option.
For him, yeah.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine it? If he can actually play, well, unfortunately, the numbers are going to be nothing now because of the shortened season. If they play in the fall, if they play in the spring. But if they play in the spring, they play a full season. Imagine if he went out and rushed for 1,200 yards and 20 touchdowns as an option quarterback.
He would be a problem. And he gets the defense off balance enough with the run. He can pop one over the top for sure. He's totally capable of it. I think you'd look really good in that offense.
By the way, Dave Shane will not cooperate and just let us move on to Armani Rogers. Yeah. Renee Russo, sure.
How old was she in Major League? I mean, I think she was fairly old, and she was still pretty good.
Speaking of old stuff, did you guys see that Keenan Middleton, he's a reliever for the Angels, tweeted out today that Field of Dreams is boring and sucks?
What?
Like, there's like a lot of people that are like mad at him.
Actually, I'm not. I'm actually joking. I actually do think Field of Dreams is not the greatest. I don't love it.
By the way, Nathan Rourke was a senior last year, so that is an open quarterback competition over at Ohio.
Nice. Let's get down some futures, except you can't really bet anything right now because we have no idea when the season's happening or how long the season's going to be.
Technically, you can bet it. It's just at your own risk.
Yeah. Would you bet? I mean, you're just going to get a refund anyway. What's
Well, it depends on the rules, right? You have to go look. Like, for example, I think I told you guys this. This is just a rule story. But I entered the NBA win totals contest over at the Westgate before the year started. But their rule, and I thought it was going to be a refund because win totals, you got to play at least 81 games, for there to be action on, just what's it called? Single win total bets. Win total contest, they had to play 42 games. So it's still live. And there's 8 teams that can have their win totals decided at the contest.
I can't do it.
Would you ever drive it to the real Field of Dreams?
No. Did they play a game there yet? Was that supposed to be this year?
I thought it was going to be this year.
Yeah, they built the dream. The Field of Dreams. Was it going to be the Yankees and the White Sox or whatever?
I thought it was very dumb. I will never go back there.
This is boy, we're all over the place. As ASU Whiskers pointed out, from dildo on a drill to quarterback talk. Let's go.
Also, I found out that I was making a case for Renee Russo still holding up in Major League when I believe she was 34.
You, as we've been through many times with Adam has no respect for 80s and 90s hot. None. 90s you do. 80s hot, late 70s hot, no respect.
No.
I was going to say, he has to have respect for 90s. It's like his prime.
His era, yeah.
True. By the way, you guys excited for the Saved by the Bell reboot coming to Peacock next week?
Never watched it.
What does that mean?
They're doing a new Saved by the Bell.
Really? Why?
As part of the launch of Peacock.
Are the oldies going to be part of it?
Yes. I'm so in. I just saw a promo with Slater and Jesse the other day.
Oh God, here we go.
Pretty exciting development. Oh boy, we're gonna do this. I mean, obviously, for everybody, it was Kelly, right? For everyone of my age.
No, he's asking you who was your childhood crush. I don't think it was Kelly. I don't think it was Kelly Kapowski.
Sure, I'm trying to think the age.
I thought you liked the Topanga chick.
Oh, I mean, that was the big debate always.
Okay.
So
I'm not gonna not gonna lead you anymore. Is it who was it? I mean, Brady. That's
what I'm saying.
Brady, you lead the show.
That's what I'm saying. That was the debate everybody had. I think those were the top two, but it would be Kelly. That would be the winner.
Boy, we sound like some quality radio that Will Kane was doing down the stretch. He was really into this.
Well, he was just ranting about politics. He wasn't doing fun stuff.
No, he actually.
Oh yeah, no.
Well, he was doing a lot of I think he was really struggling at the beginning of the shutdown, and I think they told him you can branch out a little bit, do kind of do some chick talk, and they had a bunch of days of 80s hot, and was like, dude, come on, you're not cool when you're talking about this. Now I'm cool when I'm talking about dicks on a drill because it's believable. You're not woke. Because there's not one person in this chat who was like, what is Cofield trying to do here? They're just like, that's Cofield.
You had the pictures ready to go, so we knew you were ready for the session.
I was like, I'm literally not prepared with anything else we need tonight except those two stupid screenshots. Yeah, these two ladies were too young for me. Kapowski and Topanga, so
missing out.
Yeah, no, I got nothing.
And I agree. Give me Christina Hendricks in Mad Men.
Stop it.
Just bombs.
That's awful. Winnie Cooper too.
No, I'm a little too old for Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. I think I was trying to think actually, I think Melissa Joan Hart back in the day.
Clarissa, you have mentioned that before.
Yeah, Clarissa explains it all, or Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I think that's like one that kind of pops out.
Which one did you prefer?
Sabrina the Teenage Witch sticks out more in my mind.
Yeah. I think Clarissa was a better show.
I barely remember that. That was like the very beginning of like the memory that I can call back to. I was trying to think of like all that and like all the other things that we would watch as a kid.
From that dumb Bobcat Goldthwait show.
Yeah, I had a quick Nikki Cox debate with what's his name, Mid-Major Matt. He said she looked really creepy and weird in Las Vegas, the TV show.
No, stop it.
I thought she looked fine. She got her lips done. They were a little bit weird, but who am I to talk?
By the way, that's a good point in the chat too. When I was young, Charmed was always good to watch, just because. Yeah, and I was like, 11 at the time or something like that. So you loved it. Charmed was good.
Ari apparently is a Christina Applegate stan. I like using that. Keeps me young.
No, it's dead now.
It's already done? Come on.
Now that you're using it,
I barely got to use it.
Yeah, once you get there.
Yep. It's like when my mom hopped on Facebook and I deleted mine.
Did you?
It's like when my mom gets a Twitter account, I'm out.
It was over. John, what do you got coming up this week?
Let's see. UFC card on Wednesday, so I'll have a lot of that, and Saturday, so I'll have a lot of UFC content. Golf, because Tiger's coming back, so that'll be big. A lot of people like to bet on golf because of that. And basketball. We've got like 6 teams left. We're doing every single team, all 22, like statistical profiles. So that's fun.
And who's the driver we're betting on? Eric
Almirola. Yeah.
Okay.
They don't have odds up yet because the All-Star race is on Wednesday. So Saturday is going to be the Texas race. I don't know how to bet the All-Star race. I don't know if they give a shit or not.
Good.
By the way, this reminds me of something.
It's not nice.
Surely terrible.
Yeah, I'm curious who Koken's childhood crush was. Dolly Madison. We know one of his crushes was Bo Derek.
Sure.
We haven't had Bo Derek on Cofield and Company yet. Adam and I, John, is Ari here? We block
Judy Garland or Donna Reed or something.
Adam and I were discussing doing something like once a week on the late night happy hour, and it might be on Fridays. That was constantly update our top 10 wish list for guests every Friday.
Yeah.
And Ari has to be reminded of it every Friday who we haven't gotten or who we got. What do you think? Is that mean to do to a producer? Because then we could also get input from the listeners. They could be like, hey, this is who I want to, would love to hear this person, this woman, this guy. Too much?
Kind of mean.
Can we put Trump at number 1?
Yeah, right.
We're going to be realistic.
I mean, Nevada's a swing state.
Can I tell you guys, by the way?
Hey, you know what? Actually, who was, I don't know if Koken's on here. Who was our producer? God, who was the producer then? Was it?
You got Obama, didn't you?
We had Obama on. So, Ari?
Actually, get us Obama. Tell him he was on the show.
We had Barack Obama on before he became president. He was Koken had some connection, and Obama was trying to make a final pitch in Nevada, and we talked sports with him for like 8 minutes.
I remember he said this is what put him over the top. That one appearance
on
ESPN radio.
You think he remembers you to this day?
No.
To this day?
Okay, we're not getting Trump.
That's my number 1.
Derek.
It's not a good attitude to have. Not even try.
Yeah. See what I mean? So I think and part of it is we throw a lot of guest names at Ari, but we don't remember them like 3 days later. So if we keep a rolling list, Barry Melrose was very good today. I'm not putting on Tom Steyer. You know what? Actually,
we're supposed to.
We actually should, because
we're supposed to.
If Tom Steyer didn't spend what he spent for those 2 months on radio, there may not be a show right now. Like that was pandemic relief insurance.
Get the 188 the landlady.
Oh, we should.
Actually, can we get the My Pillow guy?
He should get her and make production out of it.
Like
it's time for Cofield and Company on ESPN 1100, 100.9 FM. ESPN 1100, 100.9 FM.
I like the phone number. Why not do our phone number?
Land.
What is it? 1-888 The Land. That's
1100. We had a good suggestion. I mean, this should not be that hard. Frank Caliendo. Caliendo's on my wish list. Guy Fieri is on.
If we can only do 10, you're putting Frank Caliendo on it?
I'm giving him some options that he can get, and then higher goals.
We're going to do a top 10.
Only if I can come on and ask Frank Caliendo when he's getting a new bit.
I don't think we can waste Caliendo with a top 10 spot.
Think we're going to branch out at all, Frank?
He's not making the list.
It wasn't supposed to be 10 impossible people to get. It could be.
No, you said the wish list, though.
Yeah. Guy Fieri good.
You need to give me 185 spots before I even think about Caliendo. Not top 10.
Oh my God. Cut it out, Ari. If you just book Caliendo on your own, there's never going to be a response like, no, I didn't want him today. Like, just get him.
You imagine Ari books him, you're like, no, get out of here. What is this? I don't want Frank Caliendo. I want John Gruden. Hey, what's up, guys? This is my impression that I do all the time, huh? Yeah.
Yo, can we just post Caliendo's number for the comments?
No.
The racist ear doctor.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to this guy. I hope he starts advertising again.
I mean, it's getting close to election time, so
good commercial people.
So watch what happens here, and I'm serious. This is a very serious topic. John, you deserve a little bit of compensation for all the shows you've done recently, right? Going back to the lockdown when we were doing shows from my house.
Mm-hmm.
What if I gave you some meat?
What kind of meat are we talking?
Steaks.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. We got a deal.
Wow, that was easy.
Yeah. This is such a big deal that I'm just going to pound the chat line with it.
God damn it.
What's wrong?
Did you use me as an ad?
Yep, you did.
I did a little bit.
But you were supposed to get very excited about it. Like, what? That's even better than cash.
Well, you should have told me.
It is. I know. I should have told you ahead of time.
Let's run it back.
It is.
Yeah, I want some meat, dude. Give me your meat, Steve. What's up, man?
I'm going to do this with every one of the guests on here. Now, this is actually a site we're pitching, and this is a big deal for us, especially since I'm in a competition with other people who are on the group. So I ask everyone because, these guys have been doing this for nothing, and all of our guests are doing it for nothing. I'm not getting paid, but this site is cool. It's meetupvegas.com. So it's like 21 different meat packages. I got one that was 21 pounds of meat, but go check out the site. If you can buy something, that'd be awesome. If you put in the code Cofield, you save a little bit of money. So it's easy. Go check it out. I will get more obnoxious in the coming days and just start featuring like packages of meat up on the side of the screen. But this is eventually, eventually we're going to want to have a couple of ads on these podcasts so that these guys are, fired up to stay up late night because I appreciate what they're doing. So if you gals can take a look at the site, I think it's cool. So I'm going to buy more.
Variety pack?
Meetupvegas.com. What's that?
Am I getting the cowboy variety pack?
I don't know. What's in that one? Tell me.
Let's see. We're looking at 4 10-ounce choice reserve ribeyes, 3 16-ounce choice reserve porterhouses. Let's see. 8 reserve cut center strip steaks. Let's go. Yeah, I'll take the cowboy package.
I love it. Right. You know what my plan was, right, Adam?
What was that?
It was like we got a giant box of meat from these guys. I was like, I'll give John half the box. Now John's like, all right, I'll take this one, this particular package. Which one is it again? I'm looking at the site now.
The cowboy
variety pack.
Option 3.
Yeah, I'll get that one for you.
All right.
Seems like a good deal.
Yeah, let me punch that up.
I mean, I think it's on par in terms of pricing for all the free shows that I've done. So,
it's not. You know that.
You could have gone family value pack. 45 pounds of meat.
Forget my family. My kid doesn't even eat steak.
Yeah. Do you have a freezer?
Yeah,
like a big freezer.
Yeah, it's a cool pull-out freezer in the bottom of my fridge.
Because these boxes are pretty sizable.
I'll just eat it.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's the important part. Thank you, Brady. Thank you as producer. That's the important part. You got to use the code if you go in order. You got to use the code Cofield because that's how they track it. So yeah, the promo code is Cofield, COFIELD. And I'm going against FM DJs, and we know music is much bigger, and the listeners on Comp and Point have a lot more money than you guys, and just they love their DJs more than you guys love us. So.
Wow, what a challenge!
Look at the guilt trip. No, I do want to win. I do want to win. No, because you know how the listen, we're all in the same building, but you know how FM DJs are. They're like, oh, sports guys. Like, yeah, sports guys. Yeah.
You talk 38 seconds of an hour.
Oh, whoa.
The other part of it is watch. Like our listeners have money. They enjoy the finer things in life. They eat steak. You know, I don't know if theirs do, but I do. I know ours do. I know they have barbecues. So anyway, this was the pack that John picked. So it's $250. So you get what's in the end? 20 pounds and. I guess I could click on the actual package, but what's in your cowboy pack? You like how I roped myself into that? That was pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yo, what's up, guys?
And you said roped when you talk about the cowboy pack?
Give me a call. I got some tickets to Metallica. Till then, it's Creep by Radiohead. This is Comp 92.3. Boy Gooch.
You got the job.
Ribeye, porterhouse, strip steak. What else? Sirloin filet, flat iron. All right.
I didn't want to keep listing off everything I would get because I feel like you wouldn't get it from me. But it's a sweet deal.
I'll get it for you.
We should send some of these to the bubble.
I know, right?
Yeah.
McKinnell and I have actually we've had some nice chats about how to cook steak. So I actually did one the other night. I don't have the skillet I talked about, but I actually did part of it in a skillet of sorts, and then I finished it off in the oven. A little overcooked. I finished it. It finished up medium instead of medium rare, but I think I have it.
You finished your meat off in the oven? That's weird.
Well, it's like a broiler.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Like you cook steaks in a broiler. So basically, you this particular skillet plan, you start it in the skillet, you sear it on both sides. Meanwhile, you also spice it up, whatever you want to put in there. But you put butter, you put garlic, you put rosemary, and then you start like chucking the butter all over the steak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as it's cooking, you're like, let's go, right? And then once you do that a little bit, a couple minutes on each side, you sear the sides too. Then you throw it to finish it off in the broiler of sorts for like 4 minutes at 400. It's pretty good.
I did some barbecue today too.
Oh God!
By
the way, you noticed
yesterday
we have had this discussion before. We've talked steaks because. Oh, that's right. Eli gave us a giant porterhouse from friggin' Batali's place that closed, and I just screamed and yelled at you because I don't think you ever cooked it, or you did.
Yeah, I did.
And what'd you cook it? Well,
medium.
Don't fucking lie.
I've been shamed. I used to be medium well, but I got shamed into being medium.
I'm rare,
but I'm still scared of going lower.
No, I'm
Mark,
rare.
is that what it's called when I was just like chuck butter on it? Is there actually a term for it? All right, I was close.
Oh, I did barbecue today though.
You got to eat rare.
Tremendous. No, I can't do it.
Left Coast Mike is saying what the one I cooked was rare as fuck. It really wasn't. I'm telling you it because here's the thing, so it's like 8 minutes total, 9 minutes total, and then you have to let it rest. So when you let it rest, I didn't realize how much it cooks when it just sits there and rests. So
right.
And I will try a smoker. I will try a smoker down the road. I got some chicken. I'll try a smoker. But John, the challenge is I'd love to see when you cook a steak, I want to see what it looks like. I challenge you. I like the trolling that John did in the group text with the ziti. That was brilliant. Hey, you made baked ziti?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that looked really good.
I thought it actually came out really well. It's a little spicy Italian sausage. I got to make my own tomato sauce next time. That was the only thing. I didn't make my own tomato sauce, but solid.
Good job, man. Oh, if you're doing your own tomato sauce, that's the next level. I mean, you're starting like 4 or 5 hours before at least.
Yeah, I know. I'll do that.
While you're watching Fight Pass, making tomato sauce.
Right.
Doing that. All right. So see how it works? I walked into. I was like, I'll give John like 6-7 steaks. Now I'm getting him a whole pack from Meetup Vegas, but I don't mind doing that because John's done a lot of good work for us. Adam, if I trusted you would cook the steak the right way, I would get it for you. And
I want the cowboy one also.
You're not getting the cowboy one. Get out of here. You're not gonna eat it. Who's gonna eat it?
I do. I'll make it. Very talented chef. I just don't have to brag about it on Instagram.
All right. We got to go because John's fading, and but tomorrow, I promise. Damn it! Ari just reminded me of something we didn't get to. The food that looks like cake.
Oh, the macaroni and cheese, dude.
It's everywhere.
That got me so bad. That was so gross.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on or why it started, but it is pretty funny. Everybody just keeps posting foods that look like something else that are cake. And somebody said, imagine biting into something and actually having it be the item. I was like, yeah, I forgot all about that. Could be a real thing. The cakes are crazy, though.
I think it's you like them? You think it's cool?
It's weird.
It's weird.
I don't know. I just don't know how it started. Like, why did it become a thing?
It gives me a weird feeling in my brain when I watch it.
Like, I see the macaroni and cheese and somebody cuts in and it's cake.
Macaroni and cheese, and then he starts stirring it up and it's cake. And I feel like the cake would be gross. I don't know why. I feel like the cake is gross.
Did you see the one that's a shoe?
No.
It's a shoe, but it's cake.
You know what? Save it for tomorrow. We got to punch up all the pictures now. We got to punch up all the pictures. By the way, this I actually would not do this. If you ever have Mike Romano on, you need to clown him for his terrible cooking. This is the standard. If I put a picture of a steak out there and I don't beat Mike, like pun intended, I'm cooked. Like we all have to beat Mike's steaks are the worst.
Are you talking about just the outside and the presentation, or the inside as well?
His presentation.
The outside.
Well,
they're pretty bad.
I just don't understand what he's doing.
Isn't he just trolling though? I think that's what he's doing. I think he's saying like, look how bad.
And Martin just nailed it. I'm going to get this cowboy pack for freaking Adam, and then his dogs are going to want to be eating 20 pounds of steak.
They did have some brisket from Dickie's tonight. They really enjoyed it.
Barbecue Dickie's, yeah.
You're such an asshole. Are you serious?
Rolling smoke.
What?
You gave them barbecue?
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I?
Oh my god.
There's too many things to do on tomorrow's show now. I'm out. I can't. All right. See you, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I can't take it anymore.